Hey everyone, this is Ben Lieb, and in this video I'm going to do a quick introduction to the administrative functions for harmonyparts.com. So if you maintain an ensemble or a band or a chorus or choir, you can use this to manage the repertoire and the learning tracks for your members. So in a previous video, I did an introduction of the functionality just from the user's perspective. So if you're not familiar with that, you might want to check that out. But otherwise, we're going to log in here and dive in. So we're going to log in with Google, though you can do it with the email and password if you want. Let's see. So we're logged in, and I happen to be a member of a number of organizations, but you might not be. You can create an organization with this interface here. You would say, my new organization. And I'll just create that. Here it is here. I would click into it. It says I have no subscription plan. So this is a paid service, and the payment you make is kind of commensurate with how many users and what kind of resources you need. So looking at the plan page for subscriptions, we have these sizes, which correspond roughly to 5 users all the way up to maybe 100 users. And you can do it yearly or monthly. That's how to get an organization going. And once you do have your organization, once it has a plan, then you can start to invite your members. I'm actually going to just back up to an organization that already has a subscription. Let's look at the demo quartet, and we'll look at how you can manage your members and songs and playlists. So the first thing probably to note is that there's a members location. I'm probably gonna have to blur these out. So hopefully you'll see seeing a blur, or YouTube will yell at me. Um, you can invite a new member here, or you can do a bulk invite. This is somewhat experimental, the bulk invite. Turns out a lot of mail servers don't like it when you just send hundreds of invites to them all at once. So it works, but some mail servers are currently rejecting that approach. Anyway, you can invite a new member, you put in their name, you put in their email, and they get an invite, and they'll come back here and accept that invitation. Then they'll show up in this list. All right, let's go back to the demo quartet. So to create a song, you would just go to create a song. It's as simple as that. And then you put in the name. Let's um yeah, let's maybe demonstrate with some of the audio files from that last thing we looked at. So I'm gonna keep the whole world singing in a different organization. So we've created the song, and if you go into the song, you'll say that there's no audio tracks for the song yet. So administrators, which is who we're talking to now, go to edit the song, and you can edit the song details. You can add audio files. You can add documents, and you can add videos. So let's have a quick look at all of these things. The first thing we're going to do is actually go back into um, Atlantic Sky Chorus and demonstrate downloading those tracks. This isn't necessarily how you would acquire songs, but it's just as an example. So there's Keep the Whole World Singing. And I'm going to load these tracks, and then I'm going to download each one of them to my computer by hitting this button. We'll see how they're named. Hopefully they're named in a way that I can actually just, okay. Okay, good. So I have Keep the Whole World Singing and Bassberry. This is what they were uploaded with. These are their names. All right, great. So I'm going to go back to our other tab. And here's the song we created in the demo quartet. It's called Keep the Whole World Singing. So I'm going to leave these blank, but they're self-explanatory. Composer description, song key, arranger, lyrics. There's a place for lyrics if that can help your ensemble. Right. Let's see what kind of song this is actually. Sometimes these songs you get from different arrangers have a pre-mix. Is this one part? Okay, this is interesting. So in each of these tracks, these are what we call predominant style tracks. So there's one part that has a predominant volume and is usually in one ear, so usually in the left channel. So to demonstrate this, we'll show you what that. Okay, I'm getting a little ahead of myself. Okay, so great. Go into the audio files. We're going to upload these. and we will take them from our download area. Oops. Date added. Hit the wrong button there. There they are. Okay. So we're just going to drop them in this drop area. Then we see 3 or 4. I guess there's 4 here. Things we can upload. We don't upload them automatically for a number of reasons, but we might have grabbed the wrong file and want to remove it. But we hit the upload button for each one. And then they are uploaded here. You'll notice that these are in red because the name is a bit long, and that name would actually appear in the player, and it wouldn't quite fit. So we'll make a couple adjustments. So the first thing to do though is look at the audio channel format. I mentioned that these songs had an audio format that has the left channel predominant. But in the audio player, we can actually extract just that predominant part and leave the other parts alone. So we configure it by saying these particular tracks have a left predominant part, and the right side of the tracks will not be audible when we're in the player. And this helps us just basically make each track an individual part rather than all of the parts playing at once, which would sound quite muddy. So we'll save this as left predominant. And then let's make a quick alteration on each one of these. Maybe we'll leave it at just the part. And we can select the starting pitch, which I'm not going to worry about getting correct, and we can select a position for that to appear in the player. So for example, when we have songs, they appear vertically here. And this, for example, is a bit of a long name, which works just fine in desktop mode. But when I go to mobile, it might get a little long. I do flip it down so you can see it. These tracks are ordered by that number we just saw. It doesn't have to be the exact number. They just have to, when you sort those numerically, they have to end up the way you want them. So if we want bass to be last, we can make it 4, save that track. The tenor track, I'm not sure what the ideal order of these actually is. I would probably put this on top. Starting pitch something, order, we'll make it 1. That looks good. Clear tone, maybe make this one some pitch and order 3. All right, we'll look at the attached documents after we save this. So these should all be saved as is at this point. So we can go to the song player. So this is the song we just made in our demo quartet called Keep the Whole World Singing. And you can see there's no documents or anything down here. And if we play it, go back to the edit area. And for attached documents, this is all quite similar, pretty self-explanatory. I actually don't have that file, so maybe I will have to download it from this organization real quick. So we'll just download this document here at the bottom. We'll download Keep the Whole World Singing, and then we'll upload it here. Right, so here's our Keep the Whole World Singing PDF, and we're going to upload it the same way we did the audio. And now when you go to the player, you'll see the document down here. As an interesting aside, these are modifiable in the browser and certain browsers depending on how they render PDFs, and then you can download the changes you've made. All right, moving along. So the next thing to note is that we can demo quartet, YouTube video links. Let's add something. What was I looking at? I was looking at traditional jazz vocabulary. Anyway, let's take a random video. And if this is relevant to our song, so we can get there, we stick it in here, give it a title, and then we save this and we go back to the song player. Videos up here at the bottom here, so students can check that out, or choir members can check that out. What else to know? A lot of it is pretty self-explanatory after you can edit songs. Playlists can be created by just saying create a new playlist. Pretty simple. Then might as well do this. Let's test a playlist. Now we have another playlist. Demo quartet. Here we are. Test playlist. If we want to add a song to the playlist, we can create a new song, which is what we just did, and go through that whole process. Or we can add a song from the existing songs in this organization. So we just add Keep the Whole World Singing. So we'll add that to the playlist, and then we get it that way. Go back into add songs, you'll notice that stuff that's already in there will be disabled in a different color so you don't actually add it twice. So let's go back to the demo quartet. Members, there's some options for each members. You can delete certain members if you're an administrator. And down here you'll see, actually I probably can't show you these because YouTube hates it when I show emails. But yep, that's kind of an introduction to the basic functionality of Harmony Parts as it stands today. And it's always getting more interesting. So hope I wasn't too blatheringly long in this video, but I guess there's a lot there for one video. Yeah, feel free to reach out if you have any more questions or want to get to know me better or see if there's functionality that you would need or benefit from for your organization. Otherwise, yeah, happy singing.